Alright, now I'm just going to show you some very basic techniques with the encaustic wax. I like to cover the surface of the paper with wax, and then I like to work with the colors that I put down. In this case, I'm only using one color, although if you look at the paper it looks like there's 3 or 4 different colors of green in that picture. There actually isn't. There is one color of green that has been dispersed in different ways and in different densities all over the picture. So what we're going to do is a tap, what I call a tap. So I'm going to lay the iron gently down on the paper so that the whole iron is on the surface of the paper, and then I'm just going to lift the iron up, and that's going to create a foliage effect, or what I like to call a foliage effect. It can look like foliage, it can look like underground, undersea. So that's a tap process. Now, for this process I'm going to show you, I'm going to use the tip of the iron, about the top 1 inch of the iron just on one side. And I want you to practice just slowly drawing the iron back and forth over the paper. And you can see what you've created there. You've created a ribbon now, and the encaustic iron has done every bit of the shading for you. Now, a very skilled artist could take a very long time to understand the very subtle changes of shade and density of color that create different shapes. This iron creates them on its own. Another lovely thing to do with the iron is, again, using the tip of the iron. Now, at any time, because this is a piece that I'm just working with, I'm going to add more wax. The crayons are very, very inexpensive to use. It's a very, very cheap medium. Oftentimes the more wax you use, the more dramatic the effects that you can get, and the more three-dimensional the effects you can get as well. Okay, so I've added some more wax there to my picture. So now I'm going to, again, I'm going to use, this time, about the 2 inches of the iron, this part of the iron here. Please keep in mind the iron's about 105 degrees and it can burn you. So a caution is definitely necessary in this. Okay, so we've got lots of wax on. Now I'm going to do, so we're going to use about the last 2 inches, say, of that point. And I want you to just practice drawing that point through the wax. Looks almost like a leaf of a flower as you're going around. And look at the shading that's happening in that leaf. Now you can see I'm actually spinning the paper as I'm doing a little shuffle. I call this my little shuffle spin. And you can see that in a matter of a moment I can create quite a beautiful looking flower. And the wonderful thing about using encaustic paint is you can never create the same thing twice, and the more creative your flowers and plants and foliage are, the better, because you're just making it all up as you go along.